Hey, hi guys, I'm Sumit Barankar and I'm the founder of MusicDrop Records. And hi guys, for all those who've been asking who runs MusicDrop Records, here I am. Thank you for having interest in knowing who is behind all this thing. And many of you have been asking us to, you want to know the artists on the label or much better and all the things that goes into the track into the making of track. So we let me tell you, we always listen to all the suggestions that you guys send in, and like we thought that this is time that we go ahead and make one of these things, and here we are. So today we have Zac with us, who has his new track called Fading, which is coming out on 12th of June. So we'll be having a little chat with Zac. We'll be talking about his music career, how he got into music. We'll be talking about his new track Fading, what all experience he had in the music, what all things he had considered while making the track Fading, what was his experience. And we also have some questions that we asked you guys to send in, since we went on Instagram and we asked few of you guys to send in a few questions so that we can ask them to Zac. And yeah, I must say you guys have sent a pretty interesting questions, and I am excited to meet Zac and ask for those questions to him. And hopefully, I can take all those questions and ask him, and I can give it back to you guys. So yeah, let's meet Zac and let's hear from him what his story is about, and all everything about his new track Fading. So let's jump in. Hey, hi Zac, how you doing?
Hey, I'm well, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are things holding up?
Pretty boring. Not much going on. Still trying to wait for everything to get back to normal. But yeah. How about you?
Yeah, things slightly balanced here. I
Slow and steady. Yeah.
Yeah, slow and steady. Your first track that was Comeback.
Yeah.
That was the first track with us. So what was your whole experience with us?
Yeah. Well, it was really something that was kind of off the cuff. I didn't expect it to happen. It was just this guy, Adam Carzo. Obviously, he's a really good artist. Works a lot with Latin music and Spanish and tropical types of vibes. And he just messaged me on Instagram saying he wanted to work with me because he's seen my covers. So I had no like equipment at that stage. So I just had one little microphone, and I remember I got into the back of my mom's car and just recorded the sounds on my laptop for one night, and then I sent it across the globe. I think he's in like Brazil or something. He edited it, added the tropical vibes, and it worked out really well. A really cool summer track for 2018 when it came out. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great album. Like a fun fact, that was the first album that Music Drop label released, and like that turned out to be
Cool.
brilliant.
Yeah,
that was a brilliant track. And then I guess that was the only one time you worked with Adam.
Yeah, no, we worked again last year on Fight On, another type of Latin track, just got a Spanish rhythmic vibe to it. And now I'm obviously trying to expand into different types of cultural music.
So you're like coming up with a new track.
So Fading is kind of an amalgamation, a mix of Western, Oriental, and Arabic styles of music. I've been listening to a lot of music by Soul King, this type of like North African, Moroccan type of vibe of music, and then a lot of French Afrobeat music. For example, like Maître Gims, who's kind of like the French Kanye West. He's a very popular artist in France, and his type of music is really influenced by a specific type of catchy rhythmic beat that's usually like syncopated, and the rhythm is always really quirky. And that's the type of music I'm really interested to in the moment, and that's the key influence to Fading and how it's supposed to come across to the audience.
That's nice. So what was the first thing that got you into music?
Probably around the age of like 5 or 6, I started out playing the violin. I got really interested in string instruments. So I did that for a couple of years and I've been doing that ever since. And then around the age of 10, I was really attracted to the saxophone because at that time it was really big and bright and gold. And I was like, it had a really cool jazz type of sound. So I picked that up around the age of 10. And then singing as well, that kind of came through like singing at school in choirs. I've sang at really cool places like the Royal Albert Hall in London, the Vatican in Rome, and the Bolshoi Theatre in Moscow. So I've had a good experience with that, and it's all kind of just mixed together. So I have a good base for different genres of music.
That's nice. So, who would you say that inspired you to make music?
I think it was more my own interests in music and being quite curious to explore different things. I've always been a creative person, so I think my creative personality has inspired me to do music because I also do acting and modeling and I love art in general. So I'm a very arty type of person. In terms of like inspirations now, as I said, I think more Eastern influences, North African, Arabic, Oriental, French type of Afrobeat music. Stuff that isn't necessarily like the staple piece of Western music. I'm trying to bring in a different vibe of music into Western audiences, something that's different and not really heard of much recently.
You're experimenting with your music also.
Yeah, like a mix of East and Western music put together.
So, what is generally your creative process when you're making a track or you're writing a lyrics to a new song?
Usually, I start by writing notes in my iPhone, in my notes app, and it just kind of goes from there. I work on rhyming. I don't do everything all at once. I do it bit by bit, and then I go to one of my producers. I'll ask for 3 or 4 different beats, and then we will just work from that. We work for what's most rhythmic. What's most catchy, what sounds a bit different as well. So it doesn't mix in with all the type of commercial pop you hear out there on today's market.
Oh, that's great. So if you're given a chance to open for any particular artist in a show, who would you choose to open that show for?
Well, that's quite a hard question, but I think someone like Maître Gims or Soul King, who are really up and coming and popular in the Eastern countries and with French music really thriving at the moment. I think that's who I'd probably open for.
Oh, that's great. So you say you've been into music since like by the age of 6, right?
Mm.
So music has always been a part of your life. So do you ever sing in shower?
Yeah, all the time. Usually my music that I sing in the shower and like when I'm by myself is more pop. Usually something like Alicia Keys or Beyonce, just because I like belting and like, hitting those high notes. So usually you can hear it a lot of volume. Yeah.
Do you jump around? Yeah. Like,
I don't have,
singing,
I'm quite tall and so I don't have a lot of room to jump around, but I would if I could. Yeah.
So what other artists do you admire?
I do like the style of artists like Kanye, and these up-and-coming rappers like Lil Pump and stuff, because obviously they're very controversial people. A lot of people don't like them, but the fact is they're really popular with people because they're so different and they're really quirky and creative in different ways that people haven't thought of or considered in past years. So I like to take inspiration from their quirky sides and try and implement that in my own personality and my music.
Oh, that's great. Has your music got you in trouble anytime?
Not really. I don't think my music has really reached controversial issues. I think it's something I can definitely talk about, especially in 2020 with all the things that are going on. That's something I can look for in my songwriting in the future, but not yet. No, it's pretty plain sailing at the moment, yeah.
So, how does your family support your music? Do they like what you're doing?
It's more like hot and cold. Sometimes they like it, sometimes they don't. But I realize I try not to take it too seriously because obviously everyone has their own musical tastes, and people's understanding of music and what music means is obviously very different. So some people will pick up on instruments and like the beats where other people won't pick up on that, and it will just go above their heads. So I think for everyone it's very different. So you have to receive people's opinions on a bigger perspective as a whole, not individually, I think.
If you'd like given a chance to collaborate with some artist, who would you collaborate with?
I think again one of the like Eastern African French type of rappers. I think they're pretty hot and up and coming. So yeah, I would definitely collaborate with one of them.
How do you describe your music? Like, if you've asked to describe your music, what your music sounds like, what would you say your music would?
I'd say in a couple words, heartfelt, different, and like East/West, a mix.
It's like something you're trying to make your own, right?
Yeah, make my own.
So do people generally take your music the way you want to, like you said, heartfelt and heart touching? Like, do people really feel that thing when they listen to your music?
Yeah, I think so. I always try and create a catchy vibe with my music. So I think that's something that definitely goes well with, cool. Yeah, I think that goes well with my audience, and they understand and can appreciate that part of my music. Yeah.
What is that one thing like? If you ever happen to meet one of your listeners or one of your fans, by the road or like anywhere in the public.
Well, I've actually had it once or twice. I've been shopping in London, and this guy who was a songwriter, he said that he had heard about my music from a friend. So it was quite exciting, I guess. I was taken aback. I was quite surprising as well, but it was a different experience. Yeah, quite fun.
That's great.
I think obviously I'll be myself, isn't it? So I'll just be happy and joyful and be open with them, try and engage with them. I think taking photos obviously is a good like memorabilia, a good like souvenir from the experience, and obviously taking like people's Instagrams and social media as a way of connecting with them is obviously a really good way to keep in.
What do you think? Like, if you wouldn't have been in music right now, what else would you have been doing right now?
I think something creative still, and possibly in writing. I think I'd find that really entertaining and interesting. Just putting thoughts and emotions onto paper. So something similar in the entertainment industry is something else I would pursue. Yeah.
We have been like asking a few of our followers on Instagram, like, what if you have been given a chance to talk with one of the artists? What all questions will you be asking them? So we have a bunch of them, and I'd like you to answer them as quickly as you can. I mean, just answer me whatever is on the top of your mind. Cool?
Sure. Let's do it.
Okay. So the first one is, if you're a new addition to a crayon box, what color would you be and why? Oh, this is an interesting question.
Would it have to be a new color?
Yeah.
Or just,
I don't know. It's just you're just a new addition. Like, you can be a same color that is present in the crayon box.
Something like a yellow, a yellow or orangey, a bright color, a summer color, because I think it conveys a spark of creativity, positivity. I think yellow is something that you can relate to hope as well, looking forward into the future with a positive mindset. And I think that all relates to my outlook on entertainment, music, acting, modeling, all that type of thing. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. If you could be any animal in the world, what animal would you be and why?
I think a cheetah, purely because they're really slick and really fast.
Are you a fast runner? Are you good at sports?
I don't particularly like running. I do love sports. Like, I love football and tennis and working out in the gym. But no, I don't do a lot of running now.
What is the last thing you watched on TV, and why did you choose to watch it?
Well, that'd have to be The Walking Dead. That's just a long-term, like a long-term love of the show. Been watching it since like 2012, and it's just something I've been hooked on ever since, really. Yeah.
The next one is very interesting. Who would win a fight between Spiderman and Batman?
I mean, my knowledge in this area is very limited. I've watched more Spider-Man than Batman, so I'd vouch for Spider-Man. I'd be on his side.
Your team Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a funny one. What would you do if you found a penguin in your freezer?
It's very strange.
This is a funny one.
I'd just call up the authorities, really. I'd, make sure the animal is in a safe place. I wouldn't keep
Really?
one because it's not really practical. But yeah, I would just call up the
Oh man.
RSPCA or the animal helpline or something and get them to a zoo or something safe. Mm.
Okay, the other question is like simple question: Pepsi or Coke?
Coke.
Coke. Oh,
Yeah,
that
definitely.
that was fast. That was quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, this is also interesting. If you could be any superhero, who would you be? I guess you'd be Spider-Man.
Actually, no, I'd be Iron Man. I think he's cooler.
Oh,
He's got more of the tech gizmos and gadgets. So yeah,
yeah, man.
I'd go for him.
Always tech, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so this is something. The next question is something related to the current scenario, I would say. Uh, he asks, "What safety measures do you follow amidst the pandemic?" Like this is a very up top personal question, I guess.
I'd say what I would do, and my advice is just to stay vigilant and alert, and obviously just stay clean. Really, wash your hands. It's
Yeah,
like the best
like,
thing you can do, really. And yeah, I think if you follow that, then you should be okay, really.
yeah, I feel the same thing. Like, definitely follow everything that your particular government is asking you to do. I mean, like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel that everywhere the situation is a little different. I mean, yeah, people are getting sick, people are getting like severely sick, but then I guess what, at least from my knowledge of it, like the number of people getting infected on a daily basis, like it is varying everywhere. I mean, there is a lot of different factors in different places. So yeah, I
Mm.
definitely say like do follow what your local government is asking you to do, and like stay calm. Like don't like
Yeah, I agree.
panic and freak out. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing is like similar. What message would you give to your listeners relating to COVID-19, and like what is your take? Like how are you handling this COVID-19 situation?
Um, I'd say again, like keep calm and just keep going. Really, keep going on with your projects and work, and don't get sucked into all the fear and drama of what the media present you with. Obviously, we're still living. We still have things to do, so we can't really stop. So I'd say just keep going. Obviously, we have to adapt, and obviously being hygienic helps, and taking more care and attention to that is going to be, imperative going forward. But I think, yeah, just keep going. Don't break down, I think.
Yeah, like do you think has your life changed since COVID? Like
Yeah, I think it's just appreciating what you have. Like the basics, like being able to go out into a garden, to walk, to appreciate having like food, and yeah, just being focused on hygiene as well. I think those are the
a
things.
lot of people have a new perspective to life. I feel like me, like people have been traveling out and going to the job, like or like going out, and like people have been not. I guess that people are now more appreciative of everything. I guess like the
Everything they have, yeah,
family
I
time
agree.
and like even I guess personal time.
Yeah, even personal time, I agree. Yeah,
People have been talking about like this is the new normal, right?
the main thing is social interaction. How we talk to people now. Obviously, we're speaking over webcam. I think everything is going to shift online now. So we're just going to have to adapt to using technology more as part of like a really important part of our lives now. I think that's one of the biggest changes we're going to have to adapt to going forward.
That is all I had. Okay,
Awesome.
I guess like what do you want to tell more about your upcoming track?
I think it's something that's going to be really catchy. It's going to be a really good vibe. I'm really excited for you guys to listen to it. There'll definitely be more things coming up, lined up this year. There's more projects I have, more different influences and cultural music that I want to implement into my music. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. And I'd say keep the questions coming in and let's keep interacting, especially now we're all relying heavily on technology. I think it's a good opportunity for us to connect. So yeah.
The new track is coming on like 12th, and the new track is called Fading. And like we have planned a little premiere for like a few select few. Like if you guys are interested in watching the premiere, we will be premiering the new track on 11th, one day prior to the release date. So it's
Thursday,
so it'll be like a special screening for all you guys. We have the team is working on a special lyrics video, something different. Cool. So that will be premiered on 11th on our YouTube channel. So if you're not already subscribed or you're not getting all the notification from our YouTube channel, do subscribe and do turn on your notification and share the word. I mean, like it's a great time to share music. Like I feel like music promotes positivity and it's like a great escape, right? So
I agree.
Thanks, Zac. Thank you for sharing your time with us, and thank you for sharing your music experience. And
my pleasure.
Yeah. See you soon,
Cool.
Zac.
All right.
Take care.
Peace.
Peace.
Cool.